Hello, crafty friends. This is Anya Yinol with Ink, Paper, Scissors. And welcome back to another fun card making video. Today's video is part of my 5-Minute Friday card idea series, where I share quick and beautiful card designs you can create in no time. In this episode, I'm working with the Gina Designs Rose Mini Slimline die and the Crafter's Companion paper piercing hold and release paper to create two gorgeous inlay cards with lots of shimmer and contrast. If you've never used hold and release paper before, don't worry. I'll walk you through exactly how it works and why it's such a game changer when working with intricate die cuts. And if you don't have this specialty paper, I'll show you how to achieve the same results using regular cardstock. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. To start, I cut a piece of the hold and release paper just large enough to fit my die. Then it's time to add color. For today's card, I'm using Distress Stain Sprays in Kitsch Flamingo and Cocktail Party Mica Spray. Kitsch Flamingo is a bright, playful pink, while Cocktail Party has a beautiful, shimmery, metallic finish that adds depth and sparkle. I generously spray my hold and release paper with both colors, adding a bit of water to help the inks blend smoothly. This technique gives a soft watercolor effect and allows the mica shimmer to really stand out. If you want a more vibrant look, you can layer multiple coats, drying in between with a heat tool. Because we're using mica sprays, expect a lot of shine. It's absolutely gorgeous when it catches the light. Once the panel is completely dry, I place it in my die cutting machine with the Gina Rose Mini Slimline die and run it through. When I carefully peel off the die, all the tiny pieces stay right where they should, held securely by the adhesive backing on the hold and release paper. Now that my pink die cut panel is ready, I cut the same Rose Mini Slimline die out of navy blue cardstock. This will be my base layer for the inlay technique. As I remove the navy die cut from my machine, I make sure that all the pieces stay in place. To do this, I use the best craft tape ever by Spellbinders on the back, securing everything before lifting the die off. This trick ensures that no tiny pieces get lost before I'm ready to inlay them into my pink panel. I cut a mini slimline card base measuring 6.5 inches by 6 1/4 inches from white 100-pound cardstock. Then I carefully peel the Rose Mini Slimline panel off from the Spellbinders tape, making sure that all the small pieces stay on the tape for later use. The Crafter's Companion paper piercing hold and release paper is a specialty adhesive-backed paper that helps keep all the die cut pieces together in the exact position they were cut. This makes intricate inlay techniques so much easier because you don't have to struggle with tiny pieces moving out of place. Essentially, this paper acts as a temporary sticker sheet. It holds everything securely while you work, but the pieces easily release when you're ready to place them onto your project. This is especially helpful for dies with delicate details like this Gina Rose Mini Slimline die. Now let's get back to our card. Next, I adhere my navy panel onto my card base. This is where the magic of the inlay technique begins. Now comes the fun but detailed part, placing all those tiny pink die cut pieces into the navy panel. Because the hold and release paper has an adhesive backing, I don't need to add glue. I simply peel off the pieces one by one and press them into the open spaces on my navy cardstock. This saves so much time and effort, especially for intricate designs like this. I use a wax stick to help pick up the smaller pieces and precisely place them where they belong. This step does take some time, but the results are so worth it. Once all my pink pieces are in place, I press down firmly to secure everything. Once I finish adding my inlay pieces to my first card, I use my bone folder to add pressure to the die cuts to ensure that they stick well and are permanently set. For my second card, I do the reverse, using my navy die cut pieces on a pink base. I cut a second navy panel slightly larger than my Gina Rose Mini Slimline die. I adhere the pink rose mini slimline die cut panel to my navy cardstock. This adds a small navy blue border to my panel. This frames the design beautifully and gives the card a more polished look. Then I cut another card base from white 100-pound cardstock measuring 6 1/4 inches by 6 1/2 inches. I score it in the middle and adhere my navy pink panel centered onto my card base. Now, instead of using hold and release paper, I use a liquid adhesive to attach my inlay pieces. This method works just as well. It just takes a little extra patience since I have to apply glue to each small piece individually. Again, I use my wax stick to help my precise placement. I'll speed up the footage here while I work, but you can see how satisfying it is to watch the design come together. With both cards assembled, it's time to add sentiments. For the pink card, I chose a white birthday blessing sentiment from Gina Designs. White contrasts beautifully against the dark navy background, making the sentiment stand out. For the navy card, I go with a black sentiment strip that says "Praying for Peace" from Tailored Expressions. Black adds a bold modern look, and because it's a darker color, it complements the richness of the navy base. To make my sentiments pop, I use foam adhesive behind them, adding just the right amount of dimension. And that's it. 2 beautiful inlay cards with a mix of shimmer, contrast, and intricate details. This technique is a great way to get 2 cards from one die cut, and it is so therapeutic to put those inlay pieces into the card. I encourage you to try it. And by switching up the colors, you can create completely different looks with the same design. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Which color combo do you like best? The pink on navy or navy on pink? Let me know in the comments. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss my weekly videos. Thanks so much for watching and happy crafting!